Hello guys, and welcome back to the Cedi Investor. In today's video we have MTN. The company is currently down 3.65% over the past week. It's now trading at 3.7. So I'm going to go over MTN and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. Should you buy more? Should you sell all your stock? These are things that investors want to know, so we'll go over that. Also, I have something very interesting that I think I want to share with you guys. We all know that to find the share price of a company, it is the market capitalization divided by shares outstanding. So I think I've been able to determine the actual value of MTN, and I think it's very interesting. So we'll go over that, and I'll give you what I think MTN share price should be based on its true market capitalization. I think it's going to be very fun, so we'll go over that as well. And finally, we have our own good friend Sam George. He just came out with news that Airtel Tigo is planning on merging with Telecel. Some news outlets are saying it's a merger, but Sam George is also saying it's not. It's like a different form of partnership or something like that. The whole thing is quite confusing, but I will go over that and I'll also give you my thoughts on how it's going to affect MTN. Is this good news for MTN or is it bad news? Is this going to, bring a new competitor that is actually going to take over MTN? We'll go over that. So we have a lot to unpack today. Let's get into it. So let's start off with MTN Ghana. As we can see from the chart, the company is down. It's currently trading at 3.7 over the past week, down 3.65%. And Charlie, since about 12th of August, the company has gone down from a high of 3.95 to now 3.7. So the company has actually been going down and down and down, and a lot of investors are confused, don't know what to do. Should they sell their stock? Should they buy more or not? Personally, I think you guys all know my stance on MTN. I think it's a great company, and I think there are two main reasons why the share price is currently down. First of all is because of the parents group. They just flooded the market with a lot of shares. They sold majority of the shares that they usually buy back, and that has brought about a lot of liquidity into the MTN market. There's now a lot of shares on the supply side, but the demand side is still relatively the same. So based on that market dynamisms, the share price usually would go down. The second reason I believe is that MTN is already up more than 50% year to date. The company started the year at around 2.5 Ghana cedis and is now trading at like 3.7. So I believe some of the investors are taking profit, and I don't believe that is necessarily a bad thing. Investors have enjoyed, investors have benefited being up more than 50% from the start of the year. So if you're an investor and your stocks are up about 50% and you feel like taking some profit, it makes sense. Now as for the share price going down, I know you guys know my stance when it comes to MTN. I'm a long-term investor. I believe in the company so much. I think it's very dominant. It has a competitive moat, high quality stocks, growing dividends consistently. This is a company I can see myself holding for the next 5 to 10 to even 20 years. Personally, I'm not selling any of my MTN shares. The last time I bought MTN was when it was around the 2.9 level and it rose to around 3.7. But now that the share price is coming down, I've added MTN to my watch list. It's now part of the companies that I'm steadily watching, and if the price should come down a little bit, it's a company I'm going to consistently be buying. So right now I'm watching MTN. I want to see what happens to the share price over the next week or two to make a decision, but I'm probably going to be buying way more of this particular stock. Up next, we have something interesting that I did, and please take this with a pinch of salt. This is just a light analysis which is based on a lot of estimation, so just take it like just something fun, but I think it's something interesting and I just want to show you guys. So what I did here is I have MTN's market cap, which is currently at 49 billion. I think it's billion, and I've divided it based on the services that MTN provides. So we have data, Momo, voice, data, and other service revenue. So based on these revenue sources, I've divided MTN's market cap into what I think each revenue source should be worth, and I did this by the percentage that each of the revenue sources provided towards MTN's total revenue for half year 2025. And based on that, I've been able to get what I think is the estimated market cap of each of the services that MTN provides. Data I think its market cap, estimated market cap, is about 25 billion, mobile money about 12 billion, voice about 8 billion, digital and other services, and that makes up the total market cap of MTN right now. Divided by the shares outstanding, you get the current MTN share price of 3.7. Now, what I did next was to actually determine what I think the true value of each of those services are. So what do I think by next year MTN's data will be actually worth? I don't know if you guys get what I'm trying to say. And I think it is worth 36 billion. Now, I know you guys will ask how I came up with this, and I don't want to make the video long, so probably I'll explain it in a different video. But this is a snapshot of what I actually did to get those values, so you have it on your screen. You can maybe go over it. So I think data by next year should be actually worth 36 billion, mobile money 18 billion, voice 8 billion, not really that much compared to last year, compared to what is currently worth based on the market cap. Data 1.6, other revenue sources 2.8. So I think the actual market cap of MTN should be around 67 billion, and divided by the shares outstanding should give you a share price of about 5 Ghana cedis, and that, if you compare that to its current share price, should give you an expected return of 37%. So I think this is just something fun that I was doing over the weekend, and I think it's very interesting. But at the end of the day, please note that this is just like a light fun experiment. This is not like based on true analysis. There's a lot of estimations, a lot of variables which could make this thing completely different or wrong, so just note that. And finally, we are going to end off with news from Sam George about Airtel and Telecel merging together.
But this is the market share currently, according to the data we are getting from DNC. This is the most recent data in the first quarter. MTN is holding 73.86% of subscribers. Airtel to go or Telecel 18.26, and Airtel to go is around 7.89. So you can see that just looking at this pie chart, Airtel to go isn't really the big player here. MTN is still the big guy in terms of the telecom industry. After the merger, what is going to happen? If you go to the next slide, you see after the merger, Airtel Tigo, we don't know the name that they will call it when they decide to merge Airtel Tigo and Telecel, but they combine. For the first time, we'll have a second player that will hold 26.1% of the market share. MTN's share will not reduce because it is still two existing players whose shares will be combined. But the good news here, maybe for Airtel Tigo, is that if you look at the first quarter data of 2025, it is only Telecel that had a growth in terms of its subscribers. MTN had a dip in terms of the market share. It was a bit higher than the 73.86. Airtel Tigo improved significantly. MTN dropped marginally. And Airtel Tigo stayed constant. It was Telecel that increased in terms of the subscription and the market share.
So basically, Airtel Tigo has been making massive losses. Huge losses. And now there's some sort of, I don't know, should I call it a merger or a partnership, because Sam George came to clarify in a statement that it's not a merger. So it's very confusing. But basically, from what this news presenter is saying, now if they are able to do whatever, if it's a merger, Airtel, Tigo and Telecel, which is, I don't know what name they are going to be called, AT&T or whatever, their market share is going to improve, which is going to be like around 26 as of recent data, compared to MTN of 73. And he made a statement saying that MTN's market share even dipped a little, with Telecel actually gaining a little bit of ground. I don't know how true that is, so I went to check the data. Now this data is as of July 2025, so probably, I don't know if it's the same data they were using, but what I see is that yes, Telecel's data points when it comes to the market share went from 14.96 to 15. MTN went from 78.93 to 78.88, and AT was relatively the same. But what I want you guys to note is that this is just for data operations, and over the months it usually fluctuates, but still MTN holds the constant market share. when we look at mobile money, that is a whole completely different story. MTN's market share is 90% plus. Even with data, looking at about 73 to 78%, we are still seeing a dominant MTN when it comes to the data space. And I believe strongly that if this AT and Telecel even combine, MTN has a strong opportunity to even take more market share from this. But I feel some people who use AT would likely even switch to MTN rather than stick with the Telecel or whatever. And another reason why I believe MTN has an opportunity to steal way more market share is because of the introduction of 5G.
Had very encouraging discussions with Minister George really around the ultimate availability of 5G spectrum. Across all our major markets in MTN, we now have 5G spectrum in the major markets. The only major market that we don't have it is in Ghana. And we've done a lot to improve on 3G, 4G, but ultimately we have to get to 5G.
Basically, what this guy is saying is that they are in constant communication with the authorities about getting 5G in Ghana. He stated that across all of their biggest markets, the only major market that does not have 5G is Ghana. So I'm sure other countries that MTN operates in, they have 5G, but Ghana does not. They've been able to massively improve upon the 3 and 4G, but then 5G is just a different whole level. So their aim is to make sure Ghana is connected towards 5G. And you know, with 5G means faster internet, faster connectivity. Who doesn't like fast? I'm sure everyone does. So that's another big reason why I strongly believe MTN has an opportunity to steal way more market share, which will definitely lead to way more profits. And as an investor, I love to see that. So that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below what your thoughts are on everything I talked about. Why MTN share price is going down? Are you buying or selling it? What do you think about the fund valuation thing I did? I think it's very interesting. So you guys can leave your comments on that as well. And give me your thoughts on AT joining or merging with Telecel. I really love to know. Thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share to people you think might be interested. Until we meet again, have a lovely, blessed rest of your day. Peace.